reminds me of you. Every night the dreams return to haunt me. Your rosary wrapped around your throat. I lie awake and sweat, afraid to fall asleep. I see your face looking back at me.
From the broken down, low rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern.
Attention. Attention, please. You are receiving a pirate radio transmission. On the air for testing purposes only.
It's Friday night. Mine's Jimmy. Somehow we made it. Into the microcosm is on the app. Epic Tournament. Now are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. Right on, right on. It's good to see you. Hey. Amber was saying there was earthquake warnings in Hawaii.
Yeah, tsunami warnings today. There's some last weekend. On Sunday, I think it was.
You had some earthquakes?
No, I didn't feel them. We had tsunami warning though. So when it got up on Monday morning, actually it's Monday, I think. Yeah.
Earthquakes. Ha! I didn't feel them.
Yeah. We're up in California, right?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a 5.3.
That's pretty much. Yeah, 5.3, about right in there. Yeah.
That's nothing. I lived through the Northridge Creek when this Highway 10 collapsed. They rebuilt it in record time. It's the abilities of American construction workers. Busting ass.
Gotta have them.
Exactly, Mundo. Dude, I think we set the pace for construction.
So this guy's eating lunch on the top of the Empire State Building, or State Building, because we call it the State Building too, because it didn't come out straight.
Yeah.
Unlike the Luxor, right, which came off like 13 feet off center. Something went wrong, man. It's
Well,
more along the way.
I know. Well, it's weird that you should bring that up because Amber and I were just talking about that earlier tonight about this idea of this photoshopping of early photographs that we just never really looked at or took for granted. The ones where guys are eating lunch on the I-beam, standing on, when they're constructing these high rises and.
Right. That's like what I was thinking of. Yeah, I just never noticed the 6 fingers before now. Right.
Well, plus, I mean, this dude was pointing out that a lot of these photographs of these old buildings from, the times that we talk about and people have talked about where the cataclysmic event happened, which is the only reason I'm thinking about it and bringing it up is because I was looking into this wobbling that's going on in this stopping of these currents, these ocean currents and these weird weather patterns that are cropping up. And so I was looking into that, and then these photographs came up, and this guy was pointing out, he's like, how come all these people in this group photograph standing in front of this giant building that people built with horse and buggy, with no tools, and this crowd of people, everybody's got like a weird white aura. Like it's clearly whatever it was in the back of the day. It wasn't Photoshop, but whatever they did to weave these people into the front of this building.
Double exposure, yeah. Yeah, probably exactly what it was, black and white.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that always got me was the guys on top of the skyscraper. It's a cool photo, isn't it? It's great. But you think about it, you're like, wait a minute, the exposure time back then was pretty long, and they're in this windy building with this glass plate photo, it was a flash bulb or whatever.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's preposterous.
Yeah. Well, they had better cameras later on, so it might be one of the new advanced models, the 20 millimeter, 120 millimeter cameras, maybe. They moved up the glass plates, but I don't know, man. They don't use a flash bulb when those guys are there eating lunch. It might fall over, right?
Man, it's clear Photoshop, man. There's no question. It wasn't Photoshop back then. We thought he went down. We thought he went under. But he riseth again. He has been resurrected. Rock and Rio, have you returneth? Go now.
I'm not dead.
Go now before it's too late.
Good love has gone bad, baby.
If you want to live, come with me.
I've been played for a fool.
It's into the microcosm. We're all here now. Epic Journeyman, Rock and Rio. I'm Jimmy. It's Revolution Radio. Fully listener supported. So come on down, become supporters.
Good love has gone bad, baby.
Give us some good love. Now, man, literally the amount of technical issues I had coming into this show. I had a 3-point identification with Google. I had to re-identify with Teams. I had Windows open and set up for the show, which disappeared right before the show.
You said you called the shots the last time.
Now I'm singing the blues.
And all of your friends, they thought that was so cool. So cool, baby.
You know what I mean? Anyhow, let that be. Hopefully, it's not a message of things to come. Rock and Rio.
Well, don't jinx it, because everything is running smooth at the moment.
All right, good. So now you're over there. So we're not going to be on ground zero tonight till 10:30. What's up, everybody in the chat? Good to see everyone. Nice to be here. I think there's this news phenomenon that's going on over in YouTube, and it's these number 1, number 2, and number 3. So I'm not real sure what it means. I think it means if you were in the chat, if you were the first person in the chat room, that, you know how, I mean, people don't do it on this show, but on other shows, people stress.
I don't know.
People stress.
Because I'm seeing different people at number 1s and number 2s and 3. Like,
what does it mean?
I have no idea. Does any? I mean, maybe somebody.
Suppose you can Google it. I noticed it last week. Yeah, somebody in the chat room sure does. It's one of those things. I bet they put it in there like it's the most, chat conversations or whatever. Like you're in different tiers, but it's got that crown, right? So.
Oh, it even has a little XP counter. Like mine says 0 experience. So.
I don't know what it is, man.
I don't know.
It's YouTube coin.
Yet. Well,
I haven't typed anything yet, so maybe that's why there's no XP.
Have we even talked about Ozzy being dead?
No.
I mean, my short-term memory loss is on high right now. So, I mean, I know I've been thinking about it. I know I've been talking about it in my life, but I just don't remember if we talked about it on the air. I think plenty of people have talked about it. There was even some dude on Rents last night who actually knew Ozzy. Was going into a whole bunch of personal stories, which just blew me away. But I was like, damn, Rents just knows this dude who knows Ozzy, just calls him up, hey man, can you come on? No, but the guy was an alien guy, wrote a book. He had the #1 UFO book in the world for 3 years. I don't know his name, but he knew Ozzy.
I think a lot of people knew Ozzy.
I
know a guy who knew Ozzy too.
You got sick.
Ozzy knew them. Yeah.
Well, he was just a local barfly, but he would talk about Ozzy all the time. And actually, kind of got quite like all right enough about the guy already.
It's like the one time you met some dude.
Yeah.
It's like that. What was that video we were watching? I think it was Soundgarden or something. No, it was Chris Cornell. I don't remember which band he was in, but there was some dude standing in the studio. Remember that? And we were like, that's that dude's claim to fame for the rest of his life. He's like, I was there that night.
Artistly.
When they played Changes, Changes that night. It was Changes was a song. Anyways, it's into the microcosm, and we're already going down roads and getting into the weeds. Rock and Rio. We're in the weeds like Secaucus. Now, so you weren't in the weeds when the storms came in and it's flooding, where I'm hearing like the subways are flooded and all this.
Oh, was that today?
No, it was last week.
Oh no, I haven't heard anything about
that.
Subways flooding.
That was your valid excuse for not being here.
Oh no, I just totally punked out and crashed and fell asleep in the chair before the show.
Well, I'm just saying. We all thought
I'll admit my shame.
We all thought you got washed away. You know, and so have you now, Epic Journeyman? I think out of the three of us, if I just randomly ask you this question, you may have the answer. Okay, but there's a detected wobbling going on with the Earth, and people are saying that it's jamming up the flow of the ocean currents, which is causing weather anomalies.
Hasn't the Earth been wobbling for like ever?
Yeah, but it's reaching.
Yeah, it's more now. Yeah,
it's reaching the point where the shit's gonna slosh around like it did in the mud flood. That's why I'm bringing it up.
So it's like, you know, when the top is spinning and it's slowing down and starts doing like ringing around Rosie before it falls over, kind of thing.
Well, I'm not really sure, but have you ever heard of something called the Black Flood of 1659? You should put that shit in some ChatGPT and check it out.
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean,
I read that wobble is temporary, like it was gonna last a couple months, like 3 months or something. Then it's gonna, go back to its normal wobble, right? Because it sucks. I forgot what it was. It was pretty dramatic compared to what it normally is, like 3%. I think it was more than normal. We could look it up, but I did read that though, and it was like, yeah, that's interesting. Like it follows the Earth's core slowing down and reversing itself, right? Got to think they're related.
That too. So there's like three major things going on, right? So it's wobbling, the inner core is slowing down and starting to spin the other direction, and the magnetic north is moving at a rapid pace. So, I mean, you know, you can sit around and just, you know, I mean, those three things in and of themselves, by themselves, don't mean shit. But if you put all three of those things together and look at the velocity of the increasing movement, also, you know, in conjunction with the sun, there's some anomalies at work. And it seems, I when I see the potentiality of Epstein's girlfriend being pardoned as a result of everything that's going on.
I said it right away. Yeah, she's going to get pardoned.
After 8 hours of testimony.
Is she going to get pardoned because she's naming people now?
Well, I don't
know.
know.
Specifically, she's not going to name somebody. That's what, obviously, it'll striking some kind of deal. Yeah, it's 10 or 12 hours over 2 days.
No,
but has she named people? That's I know said she was going to. I haven't heard any update on it though.
Well, she got immunity for testimony today to just talking to this dude.
Now right? Pam Blondie is all of a sudden sick. She all of a sudden came down with something with her ear.
She looked in the mirror, realized she lost her soul. No. She sold her soul for $80,000 and didn't do her any good.
Yeah. I don't know. Everybody should try to breathe in on the mirror and make sure we're all still alive.
At this point, yes, we're still unreal.
We might be in purgatory or something. No, it seemed like, you know, I would say I detected an anomaly the other day where time has been speeding up. Time has been moving real fast, but I noticed then all of a sudden a drawn out time span where like 2 minutes goes by like 10 minutes. And I'm wondering if there's been activity going on somehow. In other words, it seems a little bit strange. All of a sudden, time seems to be slowing down. I wonder, you know, if there's been any CERN activity or something.
I don't know.
So that is that wobble.
It feels like time is speeding up. Like
for you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like big time. Like I thought I had another week, you know, before I had to go someplace.
But now you got to.
Now I got to go like tomorrow. You know, it's like
maybe
it's just the weeks are blowing by. I mean, I can't even believe it's July already. I'm on August.
Well, that's what I'm saying. August. I couldn't believe it's July either. But when I'm sitting there waiting for 2 minutes for something to get out of the microwave, you know.
Oh well, you know,
and it's
pot never boils.
It's taking forever. No, it ain't like that.
You know what I've started, dude? I've done something to test that. You know, I used to spearfish when I was a younger lad. I still go out and hold my breath out of diving, but free diving, but not as much as I used to. I used to do it every day. Point is, I used to be able to hold my breath 3 minutes, like, you know, pretty easy. And I can't do that as much anymore, obviously. But I've gotten this habit now. Whenever I'm thinking about time or I'm thinking about something, where I'll, especially driving someplace, I'll pick a marker down the road. So I'm going 45 miles an hour. It's a mile down the way, 2 miles down the way, whatever. And I'll just hold my breath till I get there. And I've noticed that, yeah, there is a time dilation going on here.
I think so.
There is.
Well, don't pass out while you're driving because you're.
No. I know when to breathe again. But it's just interesting because, you know, I mean, I get really. Normally, you have to be involved spearfishing or not necessarily spearfishing, but you know, doing something where you're focused on doing something else, where holding your breath, where you don't think about it as much. But now I've noticed that there are days, where, to Jimmy's point, where things do go really slow, right? Like that wall was a mile away or whatever, it's taking forever to get there today. And other days where it's like, I'm there like that, man, no time at all. And I could go 3 more miles and not worry about it, right?
There's been times where I had to be somewhere and I was running late and I physically thought about it. And even though I had to spend time getting there, I got there on time. Like I was able to just, I don't even know how to explain it. Like somehow I made it.
Amber just said it's Mayan calendar day called Out of Time.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. She sent me
technically yesterday for me, but
yeah, she sent me a link for that, but I forgot about it earlier. I started getting all sucked up into this these technical issues. But anyways, yeah, I'll get that link. But
Actually, of interesting note, I believe in 2 or 3 days there's going to be two meteor showers. The two different meteor showers are occurring at the same time. So it should the 29th, I think it is. So look up into the sky and watch the stars fall. Because it should be a good show.
How many per hour are they going to be dropping tomorrow?
It was something like a couple hundred per hour for a few, like 2 or 3 hours because of the. Like, you should be able to see, like, tons of them.
So, the Mayan out of time, July 25th, 2025. Yes, July 25th is often referred to as the day out of time in the context of the 13-moon calendar, which is the modern calendar inspired by Mayan traditions. The galactic new year, the 13-moon calendar, uses 13 months, 28 days each, totaling 364 days. The 365th day, July 25th, is the day out of time, a free day before the galactic new year begins on July 26th.
Happy Galactic New Year, then.
Time for reflection and reset. It's considered the sacred pause, a time to step outside of linear time and reflect on the past year and release what no longer serves you and set intentions for the future. Connected to nature and spirit, it is seen as a day to reconnect with nature, spirit, and cosmic rhythms, fostering peace and personal harmony. Art and celebrations. It's also a day for celebrations, creativity, and honoring connections with others and the planet. In essence, it's a day to embrace timelessness and align oneself with the cosmic natural rhythms before embarking on a new cycle, according to the 13-moon calendar system. Thanks, Amber, for that. So listen, that's the thing, too. Now, there was a 13-moon calendar in the past, but things got changed to where we are now, right? The leap year and all this bullshit. It's kind of
the 13-moon calendar was pretty close to our calendar, the day off. That's, I guess, what the extra free day is, or whatever. Because it's, we're at 365 and a quarter days. But realistically,
every month has 28 days.
Yeah.
Well, in 13-moon calendar, every month has 28 days. Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But
and then every couple of years they add a month.
April, June, and November, all the rest have 31, except for, February. Doesn't it, the old system seems to make more sense now? Isn't there more astrological signs also off that different calendar?
Yeah, well, there's 13 instead of 12.
Yeah, Ophiuchus is the new one, right?
The sign, the snake. Yeah.
Yeah, Ophiuchus.
The Enochian calendar was 360 days, which is interesting, right? Because it's completely off by 5 days. That's the oldest calendar, supposedly.
Yeah, well, I mean, back then, I get either they were taking a guess, or maybe the Earth went a little faster around the sun. It only took 360 days. Told maybe the flood or some other cataclysm.
Flood changed it, sped us up.
Right before the Black Flood of 1659.
Or, the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, made us go faster or something. Who knows?
You know what, dude? I just figured out why when you see pictures, old shots of people at the beach, I just figured out why no one's wearing shorts and laying in the sun. It's because you notice how all the people are fully dressed in these old shots in the 1800s when they're standing by the beach, standing by the water.
Well, they were in their bloomers, yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? Everybody was fully dressed. Now, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, why is everyone fully dressed? Is there something going on? Like, maybe there's something everybody knows about the sun back then. It's because of this event that happened and everybody's still wearing their hats and all the shit. But no, it's because they couldn't find a bunch of people that were wearing shorts back then to put in the fake photograph. So they had to use people that were fully dressed, man. I'll bet you if you go and look at some of those beach photographs, I bet you're gonna see those white ghosts.
Well, wasn't it considered distasteful to expose too much skin back in the day, especially around that time, the Victorian times?
Yeah, until the 1920s, really, right?
Yeah, well, maybe that's what they just. I don't know, man.
They just told us that because the cameras got better. And
You're telling me.
it.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, let's just say naturally. Let's say in the 1800s, if you were going swimming, you were going skinny dipping or whatever. They didn't have. We weren't buying board shorts down at the O'Neill shop or whatever. There wasn't shorts, you know.
You had to make cutoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
who would be doing that? No, I mean, people didn't do shit like that back then, did they? You just go diving in the water. You just be
Yeah,
naked.
the East Coast.
They would wear they would wear their bloomer shorts and a t-shirt or something, I guess.
Man,
Yeah, the boardwalk crowd from New Jersey or neck of the woods there.
have you looked?
That's exactly what they did. Yeah, they had the
Looked
swimming
into
attire.
any of this airship stuff?
Yeah.
Have you looked into these old? I want to call them Tartarian airships, man. I mean, I don't know what else to call them.
Well, those airship flaps. Yeah.
No, they were floating
Zeppelins?
around. Yeah, they were floating around. I mean, they're landing up against these giant skyscrapers. People are climbing off of there, coming down into the building. I mean, there's some people that are saying they were actually directed. They had directed energy weapons aboard these airships that were warships that would generate energy off the skin of the airship itself, just from the atmosphere, from flying around in the atmosphere. It could suck in enough energy from the ether space to just blast and melt shit.
And this funky tower spire things at the top where they had those little antenna looking things. Those are actually the anchor mooring points for the airships.
Well,
Right.
they are, and you start looking into it, man, and some of the construction, the physical construction of like what we were saying a long time ago about cathodes, calling it cathedrals, you know, and sitting on ley lines, these cathedrals or whatever. It's clear that they were cathodes, man. You know, and so they have a whole thing where they're saying that there was these domes combined with the mercury, combined with the energy that was being sucked out of the ether space. You know, this red mercury thing. I don't know. It's interesting. You could probably spend quite a bit of time getting into it because there's so many aspects to it. And what's really interesting now is a lot of the people that did the research on Tartaria and the mud flood, and they ended up here, and they kept moving, and they took some of the ideas of the technology from that period of time, and they took those ideas and then made them with modern materials, and they're having actual results, you know, generating power and so on and so forth. So it's literally unbelievable. You know, it's been sitting around us the whole time. Remember we had that video of the guy getting electricity off the tree. Like he put some cable wire into a tree. He was pulling electricity. He lit all the whole area with electricity they were getting off of trees.
It's actually conceivable if you have a tree with deep roots because they're plugged in, right? They really are literally plugged in.
And they're up in the air, you know.
Yeah, and so they have this. They're acting as a conduit. So if it's tall enough and the roots are deep enough, then that's they get struck by lightning all the time. But I mean, this is something you could harvest, if you will, like static electricity that normally in the sap of the tree and the water inside the tree would be inert. But once you get in deep enough, maybe you're caught up into the field, right? It's fun to think about. I don't know if we can do it today. If it's been tried, it would probably succeed if it was real. But who's to say it wasn't real at one time? You know, like there's a different mineral that we lack now that was in the trees that we don't have today, or a different chemical in the atmosphere.
Well, there's a specific formula and an idea that, you know, if you can get up high enough in the air that there's enough electricity just floating around. I think I don't know. I want to say it's 100.
The ionosphere, yeah, you can totally you send wires like a guided torpedo with the wire spool.
Yeah,
you can have a satellite trail the ionosphere and just gather it.
Yeah, I just want to
zaps back
say.
down.
Yeah, I want to say it's 100 feet. I think it's 100 feet. Now, if you look into this, there was at one point there were these moonlight towers, they were called, and they were like a lighted fixture that was in the center of towns that would shine and illuminate shit at night. They're called moonlight towers, and I'm pretty sure it's between 100 and 150 feet up. It has to be for you to grab this electricity. But I'm just, did Tesla invent it, or did he just? Is he just the guy who had his name on being the guy that was trying to, put it back out again after, whatever happens, the wobbling. What are these? I got the wobbles. All right, listen. I haven't really gotten into too much politics this week, just because I've just been doing something else. What we're going to be talking about a little bit later. So.
No, what's going on? Something's going on.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit later. I'll send you some in the background, but no, this whole thing that's been going on, and just the people that have been just trying to make up for it and try to come up with reasons and justifications of all this shit.
There's no reason. It's obvious. It's been obvious the whole time, right?
Well, the thing.
I was going to blow up at some point.
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, Epic Journeyman, and we've been talking about this shit for a long time. And we, obviously 8 years of it, and even before that. So, but
that's true.
And
we have a little more base knowledge than a lot of people.
We've been up one side, down the other of this whole character. But what's going on right now is literally unbelievable. It makes me think everyone's heading for their bunker already, because it's so obvious and so 6 inches in front of your face or whatever. So I don't understand exactly the purpose of what's happening exactly, but it looks to me like, Vance, like we were saying last week, Vance is a heartbeat away from being president.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because the thing is, now, the obvious thing to me, and the big question in my mind about the whole thing is if, and there was something to go after him about, that they would have used that against him a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And so that's the thing, is it doesn't seem to me like he's afraid of being exposed for any reason.
Well, you got to look at it this way too. They got pictures of him at the Miss America pageant with the guy, and a couple other meetings where they show them talking or chatting in social situations. The guys were billionaires in New York. There's probably 50 other people that both of them talked to that night. That there just could be pictures of. It's just because they had a polite social conversation doesn't necessarily mean anything was going on, and that's really the only evidence they have. Or at least
he was his best friend, though. Literally his best friend for over a decade.
Yeah, and then he threw him out for being creepy. So.
Well, that's what Epstein said about him, though, too.
Yeah,
So
right.
It turns out it was a real estate deal.
They both thought the other guy was creepy. So.
Yeah, it was a real estate deal. Went bad. That's what it was, according to Michael Wolff. Anyway, that they both bid on the same property.
Yeah, but there's plenty of people I've talked to in social situations that I wouldn't have anything to do with in real life. That I wouldn't necessarily call friends, or want to call friends. But that doesn't mean that you got to be rude to them in a public social setting. You just you do your thing and move on. That's.
But they hung out together.
I'm not defending either one of them because
Yeah.
they both got issues, but there's no proof that anything really bad happened. They just I got a picture of them talking together. Well, yeah, great. Where's the proof? Where's the
Well, as far as both sides being in on it, that's true. Politically, it doesn't matter if you're one side of the spectrum. They're in that club that we're not in, right? That's what it is. And so it's kind of like honor among thieves, or more like a secret society kind of thing, where They just don't give up their secrets, right? So it doesn't matter what you are in the world that this people outside the initiates are in, right? They're initiates. They're in this other realm. And in the case of him and Epstein, I mean, they're all lobbying because Maxwell and Khashoggi ran that ring originally. Khashoggi died. Robert Maxwell got killed by Mossad. That left Ghislaine Maxwell, and that left a vacancy. And, you know, Trump was already maneuvering into that position by buying Miss Universe. He bought the Khashoggi's yacht. And then this upstart Epstein comes in, just comes out of nowhere, right? That Les Wexman brought in there, and Barr's dad, recruited for the adult school. So there's something odd there about that. And then they become best buddies after that for 15 years basically before they had some kind of falling out. But I mean, they had 28 girls with just them, nobody else there, just them. I mean, that's not just a casual acquaintance, And they recruited the girls from Mar-a-Lago, among other places.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a completely casual acquaintance, but
yeah,
it's on the other hand, to see two billionaires in tuxedos chatting with each other at a social event is not really an uncommon or unusual thing. It's not really proof of anything except that there were two guys in the same place at the same time.
Well, no, I'm with you in the sense that here's the thing: like whatever it is, there's something there that is so bad that if you look too hard, if you look at the Epstein files, air quotes, the 100,000 pages of documents that were gathered to
then why would
Epstein
they,
and
if they
Maxwell,
had
there's something there that doesn't want to come out.
Listen, man,
it's a cover-up's worse.
Listen, if they had some shit on him already, why would they have gone through all that shit with the Russian hoax and the dossier and all the bullshit and the people that got killed and all the fucking shit that went on around the dossier and all this and that and the other? Why would they go through all that if all they had to do is just drop some shit from the Epstein file? It doesn't make sense.
What if it was some kind of initiation, like him and...
doesn't make sense. It doesn't
him
make
and Clinton
sense.
had to go bone each other and film, It was some kind of humiliation ritual, and they got the tape. Neither one of them wants to come out, does it? Neither one does, right? I mean, it could be something like that. I mean, I think it's occult stuff. I think it's some kind of actual magic ritual involved, and that's what there is. It's a part of that initiation ritual. Then beyond that, it's become a money-making operation. Les Wexner had those models for Victoria's Secret, and Don Khashoggi was trafficking those people over to Dubai and the Middle East, from all over the world, primarily Eastern Europe. Yeah,
it doesn't. I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
Well, I wouldn't disagree that they've probably been through some mutual humiliation ritual of some sort. I'm sure most of those people go through that at some point. But like Jimmy says, though, if there was some solid evidence, why wouldn't they have used that before the election?
That's what I'm saying. It'd be like shooting fish in a barrel, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is all that stuff, hang on a second. All that stuff came out, all the stuff that was negative, all these people stepping forward, him paying out, losing lawsuits, and he said grab him by the pussy and all this stuff, all that shit, all that stuff. It's still, none of that happened.
There's nothing.
None of that affected anything. Still.
Yeah.
But, and so you're telling me that they got some on him and they're going to drop that shit. They wouldn't have dropped it already? Then if that's the fact true, let's just say it is true, there is shit in there about him, then the whole thing is bullshit. It exposes the whole game of what's going on here.
That's more likely. That's what I'm thinking. You can't let the gig be up, right? The jig is up, right?
The jig is
up. So
up.
it says, yeah. So that's why it's so devastating to both sides. So that's why they don't want it to come out. That's why they make a deal with Maxwell. They'd rather have it come out that, she's going to get pardoned either now or, after his term, but most likely now, next couple of months. And she's going to say whatever, to take the heat off of him. And we're just going to be left all being pissed, and they'll harness the energy of us all being pissed, saying, no, there's more to it than that.
The other thing, too, is, and listen, I'm not giving anybody a pass either. Because I see some weird looks on faces with that dude in a bunch of pictures with people, and I see weird reactions in women that have been around him for a long time. I see the way they act. I see their body language, and I see their faces and stuff, and so it looks weird to me, man.
Yeah, Ghislaine took their
know,
passports away, and she
the
kidnapped
thing
them,
that-
basically.
The thing that gets me though is you're making such a big deal out of this association, right? But they seem to have forgotten that Corn Pop over there was sniffing hair. And nobody made a big deal out of that.
I don't think the whataboutism. That's the thing. I don't think the whataboutism works on this, because this is something that the QAnon community and the super ultra mega people on the right that were up all night, 2 a.m, 3 a.m every night, looking for the Epstein files and Pizzagate and all that kind of stuff. They thoroughly believe this. They're waiting to have it. That one thing they could always count on is, well, you know what? We're voting for this guy, and yeah, he grabs girls by the and yeah, he does all this terrible stuff. He's a horrible person. But actually, he's going to reveal all this stuff. So when we go back and talk to our friends later that made fun of us all these years, we say,
this is the ultimate.
He showed us the truth, right?
This is the ultimate.
He revealed the Epstein files. He said he's going to.
This is the ultimate demoralization of that whole group. This particular one thing is what I'm saying.
That's why it's such a big deal. Yes, it's not that there's something there or not there. So he's not letting it come forward like he promised he would.
Well, I'm just saying,
like, what the hell?
Specifically demoralizing his base. There's a whole group of people who think he's going to swoop down like Superman into the tunnels below every city that, these millions
free the mole
of
kids.
people are
to free the mole kids.
I'm saying, Rio. I'm trying to be a voice of reason. I'm telling you, why would they go through that whole dossier thing if they had him by the balls? If they already have him, if they already have him by the balls,
unless they thought this one was bigger and they were trying to save it up, but this would have been.
Then they wanted him.
If this was real, this would have been the final nail in the coffin the first time around.
Then we know who's running him. Then he's never been who he said he was. There was always somebody there that was telling him what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, they would have thrown these dice to keep him from getting in there. If they had a way to keep him from getting in there, they would have kept him from getting in there. Because if he's in there, they must want him in there. If they have some evidence around it. You see what I'm saying? Why would they do this? I think Bruce was
to destroy America. That's what it is. To take down America, to make us lose faith in everything that made America truly great. Our Constitution, our civil liberties, our rights, all the things that that made us better than all that made us the light on the hill that Reagan talked about. Take all that away by us just being so demoralized. Exactly what you're saying, and seeing every virtue we had. And we're sending people to concentration camps in El Salvador, man. For Christ's sake,
Rio
in Sudan.
Rio, I think Bruce just messaged me. I don't know if he wants to come on or something. Let me see.
I don't know.
Let me see. What time is it? It's 9:45. So let me see here. See if I can find it here. So so it's just like I'm saying. I think there's something else going on here. He's either by the balls from somebody, or he's gonna drop the bomb. And everybody's going to go down. So if he has the evidence over there, then all the people that are on there are now suspects, right? So do you guys think that they would actually let that happen?
I do actually, not intentionally.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why what's on there is he's on there, but in order for them to use that against him, they got to expose themselves, and so it's too dangerous to expose themselves. So that's why they didn't use the evidence against them. Is that what you guys are thinking?
Right. That's what I said all along. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's on there. There's hundreds of people. It was 1,000 girls that we know of. And my theory has always been it's more than 1,000 girls. It's thousands of girls. It's a white slave trade. It's women from Eastern Europe being sent over to Dubai. It's all these women being trafficked all over the world. It's a huge business, right? And they were in on it. That was their opium trade, but it wasn't opium, it was girls, right? That's it. That's what it is. And that's why they've been competing this whole time. And Epstein was put figuratively in charge of it. I don't know if he was really in charge. He was just given that money, given that mansion, basically. Nobody knows where his money really came from. And Les Wexman gave him all his money, basically, to keep, take care of for him. And all these people were investing in him, supposedly. But nobody knows what his real capital came from. He was just some school teacher at Dalton School, that Barr's dad, who was a dean, brought him in for. So there's an old tie there. It goes back to him. And this tie into Ghislaine Maxwell, which is Robert Maxwell and Adnan Khashoggi. It goes back like the first generation of people we know in the 70s that ran this kind of thing. And this is the second generation that started taking over after those guys kind of faded away, or were made to fade away, more likely in a couple of cases there, Maxwell in particular. But yeah, it's something that's always been there, and it's just getting exposed now. That's what I think it is, and it's a system beyond our normal system of politics. It's a system of control, a system of chaos magic, a system of sex magic, and a system of the blackmail part is real to some people. But I think also it's people that it's just any Joe could get in there and be your minion. It's like a mob mentality. You could have your lieutenants out there recruiting these women from all over the world. They could be in different forms, right? And you have your different classes. I mean, Melania was one of them. Melania, the first time she got it on with Donald Trump was on the Lolita Express on Epstein's plane. Those photos that are on Russian TV were taken on the Lolita Express, those nude photos. I mean, he gave her to him, or did Putin give her to him? I mean, they didn't just meet supposedly at the Kit Kat Club. I mean, that's the story in her biography. That's not true. There's all kinds of people saying she came over. Was it a gift, essentially?
It's all too much. It's in the microcosm Friday night. Every Friday night, 9 o'clock Pacific, right here at Revolution Radio. You can find us. And then we will be joining Ground Zero Plus immediately following Beyond Zero tonight. They're staying on until 10:30 with the Behind the Velvet Rope stuff. But you're over here, and so are we. And we appreciate you. Don't forget, fully listener supported. So come on down, become supporters. All right, Metal GT, we'll see you later. Hey, what's up, Brent? What's up, D? What's up, Flippy? Hey, Scott. Bernays, was good to see you, Flippy. Woohoo! Amber 2. There's a bunch of people over here who can join us. The Independent Broadcast Network is still up and running. Rock and Rio.
Mm-hmm.
Still running hard over there. What does it play over? Just
Our call is going to end very shortly.
Our call?
Yes.
All right, well, you'll
disappear.
You'll reconnect us then. And, that'll be an opportunity time for me to find something to do while you're rehooking up that call. And, that's always... I think... I'm not sure. Bruce may want to come on. Send Bruce a message and see. I'm not sure.
All right, we'll check on Bruce.
Give Bruce a check and see what's going on, and we'll be over here, like I say. So, Epic Journeyman, is the volcano going off or no?
Not bad.
No,
not bad. It's going off. It's like kind of like normal, like it was before it went off a couple of years back in 2019. It's not, I remember when that went off. It was a crack up because I was on the other side of the island of Waikoloa and eating lunch. And that was a 6.2 earthquake, but unlike most earthquakes, it rolled the ground. It just like snapped things.
Yeah,
you just felt it. It was like one big boom. Snap. It was just a volcano going.
Add Bruce when you make the call.
Okay.
All right. Hey, it's into the microcosm. Rio, you there?
Yeah.
Are we hooked back up?
Oh no, I haven't disconnected yet.
All right, go ahead.
Trying to letting it run.
The sky is red, I don't understand. I've spent nights to see the land. People are saying the woman is dead. She makes a burn with a wave of her hand. The city's ablaze, stars on fire. A woman's flames are reaching higher. We want fools, we call it liar. All I hear is I didn't believe she was devil's sprung. She said, "Curse your war, you'll never learn. When I leave, there's no return." The people laughed, so she said, "Burn." Warning came, no one came.
All right now.
Bucegi was started there. When it came, none was spared. Still I hear. You know we had no time. We could not even try. You know we had no
All right, Rock and Rio, I see you there.
I am.
So
I
now
am
it's
here.
3 minutes of break time over at Rev Radio now, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, so, okay.
a killer on the run, laying down alone. That's what this bag is for. The keeper of the deep.
All right, we got 2 minutes, everybody.
The keeper of the beast, yeah. The tamer of the beast. Ain't no man more righteous than the fallen man reformed. You say it in for a one-man cause, righteously reborn. And laying down the law, that's what this gun is for. Yeah, keeper of the peace. Yeah, the keeper of the peace, tamer of the beast. Yeah.
Hey, it's Friday night. My name's Jimmy. Sitting in the microcosm, hour number 2. We've been joined by Bruce McDonald, Epic Journeyman's here, Rock and Rio's here, and now you're here. Looks like Sergeant Miller's gonna hop in.
I see you bleed, feelings you close up. I know the pain that you hide. Oh baby, please, don't be no closer. Stay with me through the night. Till the night.
Great White, the Old Rose Motel. I used to live right around the corner from the Old Rose Motel in Venice Beach, Venice, California. Hey, we've been joined by Sergeant Miller. What's happening, Sergeant Miller? What's happening, Bruce?
All right, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good. What about
Yeah,
you?
same here.
All
Mic
right,
check.
all right.
Right on. Good to hear everybody. Well, welcome, Bruce and Sergeant Miller. Now, before the break, we were asking the question: if there was evidence in the Epstein files, then why didn't the Democrats drop it on him? Why did they go through all that with the dossier and everything, Bruce? What do you think? Does it make sense?
Can you just articulate the question again, please? I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure I understand.
Well, the question is, if in fact there was evidence against Trump from the Epstein files, then why wouldn't the Democrats have used it to stop him a long time ago? Why would they go down this whole path of creating this Russian dossier, this whole thing with all these people and all this money and all this shit that went on and all the people that were involved with the Russian dossier? Why would they go down that road and make all that shit up when they had some actual evidence?
I have no answer, Jimmy. I am baffled. Like, I am beyond baffled at this point. It just this I imagine this is what Moscow was like from 88 to 91.
Yeah.
When it was all coming apart under Gorbachev. And, I was right of age. We all were. We're all about the same age. Except for Rio. He's just a pup. But, so that was a great age to be politically aware. I was 20 years old in 1986, and I went to journalism school from 22 to 26. So I went through the whole Cold War, and I remember there were like stuff coming out in the news you couldn't believe, like Gorbachev being taken to the Russian equivalent of Camp David, attempted military coups. Some people didn't want to acquiesce to the West. They didn't like glasnost and perestroika. This seems like our version of it in the West. Like it's all over the place, man. This is what empires look like when they collapse from the inside out. And the Russian collapse was economic as well. They really couldn't compete with Star Wars. And that was only achievable, though, because they expanded the money supply when Nixon took us off the gold standard.
Yeah.
So really, the moment we're in now is the delayed effect of everything that happened from 71. You know, they say a purely fiat system can only go 40 years. So you map it out from 1971, it's like 2011. It actually faltered in 2008, a little earlier than 40 years, and now we got no money. I say we because America is still the leader of the West. $34 trillion in debt. Unless they come up with a new world-defining technology that cannot be reverse engineered, there's no way to pay that debt off in a competitive global marketplace where everybody has technology and everybody's manufacturing. So the empire's finished. As for Trump, man, I can't figure out what this guy is doing. I'm pretty sure he's in the Epstein files. I'm pretty sure he's probably a pedophile.
Allegedly.
You have to be careful with that word, though, because I generally associate it with prepubescent sex. You know, like my father-in-law over here married my mother-in-law when she was 15 and he was 30. They stayed together their whole lives and had 11 kids. I wouldn't call that pedophilia. But Trump, I mean, there's a lot of pictures floating around now. And then amidst it all, they're going after Obama and Hillary and Brennan and the Democratic
that's what I'm saying.
Quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the thing is, for him to say that it doesn't exist and then say that it does exist, and then all this stuff comes out, and then all of a sudden Epstein's girlfriend goes and says, hey, well, you know, I'll be willing to come to Congress and testify. And then the next thing you know, she's over there for 8 hours today doing a discussion for the last 2 days, 4 hours a day. And then now they're going to, you know, they're talking, there's rumors of a pardon or whatever.
Yeah, Trump's personal lawyer, right? He's assistant AG now, but yeah, it was his personal lawyer, man, literally. So, yeah, it's such an unethical thing in the first place. I mean, he's best buddies with the guy who's Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer.
Literally, Bruce, Sergeant Miller, it's literally unbelievable what's going on. And the apologists, the people that are like trying to come up with ways to justify it. He's playing 9D chess, dude.
The only thing I feel confident making a clear call on is Obama. I think that's Israel that wants his head on a pike because of the $1 billion he gave Iran and his open support for the Palestinians. That's the only thing I can come up with because it's not practical. I mean, you can publish everything and put together a package, have the major daily newspapers and all the big magazines, Atlantic Monthly and New Yorker, publish the truth that, in fact, for the historical record, this was fabricated, and shame Obama and shame all those people and set the record straight. But prosecuting him, that has Jewish blood libel all over it.
Well, he
Well,
said
he's immune, right? Because the presidential immunity thing makes him
No,
immune
he's
too.
he's not actually. No, he's
Well,
not.
and it's also past the statute of limitations by a long ways. And but not only that, like he didn't do any of that stuff. As far as we're talking about the Steele dossier, that was actually commissioned by the Republican opponent. I forget which one. It wasn't Rubio. It was one of the other guys during the primaries against Trump in the 2015 run up to 2016 election. So that was actually commissioned by a Republican opponent, not by the Democrats. Democrats seized onto it later as part of some other stuff, but it wasn't crowd strike or whatever, commissioned by Hillary Clinton. It wasn't. It was brought up by one of his other opponents in the Republican primary.
Yeah, I did not know that. His present Secretary of State whipped up that file?
No. So it wasn't him. It was one of the other. There was like 12 guys at the time. Lindsey Graham was in there. I forget who it all was. Jeb Bush, and
it doesn't.
There's still like 9 of them left at the time.
The thing is, though, it's who brought it out or whatever is not relevant. What's relevant was what is being found out by the files that exist by Tulsi Gabbard. But she didn't find anything, though. That's the thing. Like, there's nothing going on there. Like, as far as they never said that the Russians tried to change or succeeded in changing the vote count. All they said they're trying to influence the election, which they were. And Marco Rubio says that publicly because he led the Senate Commission, bipartisan Senate Commission at the time, that investigated it. So there's no way that can be anything. Plus, when they sent the Durham report to go out and investigate it at the time, he didn't find anything either. So it's already been looked at like 3 times by the Senate Republicans, leading the Senate at the time, led by Rubio. It's been looked at by the Durham report, and nothing was found then. They're not going to find it now. There's nothing there. It's already, so we know where it came from.
What is Tulsi Gabbard going on and on about? What do they have?
She I don't know what she's just distracting about the Epstein files. That's all she's doing. Trying to get into Trump's good graces again because she's
you're
in the
talking
doghouse.
about this Steele dossier. That's what you're talking about with Tulsi.
Yeah,
it's ancient,
Okay.
man. It was brought up by a Republican opponent of Trump's at the time in the Republican primary.
Go ahead,
That's the
Sergeant
commission
Miller.
original.
Go ahead, Sergeant Miller.
Well, my point is, why would Putin want Trump in there when he can't even get Zelensky out of a puppet chair? I mean,
He really hates Clinton.
It's just thoughts, because Putin didn't have to deal with how many different administrations since the year 2000, and he's still one of the most respected world leaders in the world, point blank period. Whether it's Africa, whether it's the Middle East, he's still respected. Even dealing with George Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, and Biden. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is his benefit? What is Putin's benefit for putting Trump in there? Undoubtedly, it's not working right now because Ukraine's still getting armed, still getting resources, still getting intelligence. So I just think that Putin, if he can do like meddling in elections, his best was to get Zelensky out of there.
Well, he tried. He invaded the country. I mean, he definitely tried.
Well, I mean, he's not trying hard enough.
but I mean, I found what it was. It was called Fusion GPS. Now I remember, and I looked it up. Yeah, so it was this GOP donor billionaire guy named Paul Singer. He's one of the site's key backers. They're the guys who funded the Steele dossier.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about what Sergeant Miller just had to say? So he's saying,
about Ukraine. I mean, I of course.
No, I mean Ukraine, the thing is that clearly on the world stage right now, Putin and Trump don't appear to be friends or buddies, and they're all. I mean, you can see lines are being drawn. That shit that happened in Iran, that ain't over. That ain't over at all. Okay.
No, that was a big embarrassment to, as I said last week, right? To Russia, because the S-400 anti-aircraft system was completely destroyed by the
They also
Israelis.
The Russians also intercepted a stealth B-2 bomber.
I don't believe that though. I saw it. Looks AI to me. The guys are too small. You see them next to it on the ground.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just telling you. I saw a thing earlier this week about it. But irrespective of that, though, I mean, none of that really is the issue. The issue is that we can clearly see that, like Bruce was saying, 35 trillion. Bruce, you said. You say we owe 35 trillion. The question is who do we owe 35 trillion to? Exactly. And that's the big question. Like, who is there that could say, "Hey, man, you owe me 35 trillion. You better pay up."
Whoever bought our treasury bonds, right? That's what they are.
No.
So whoever owns those treasury bonds.
Can anybody make you pay up?
Yeah.
How
you
can
cash in? Like
no.
if so, we do like we do our retirement.
So there
stuff.
must be somebody you have to pay that 35 trillion back to. Who is?
Luckily, it's not all one person.
Who do we owe 35 trillion to? Who is it? Do you know?
Mostly U.S. citizens, actually, but after that, it's China and England. Ironically, I think England more than China used to be.
But that 35 trillion doesn't include domestic liabilities like Social Security. That's straight Fed Reserve bond debt, right?
Right. Yeah, no, we pay. That's a separate tax. Medicare and Social Security completely different. They have their own tax that we pay into. So it's separate. The SSAID and what would you call it? SS average on your W-2 here. But yeah, and same with the disability.
What do you see clearly going on across the planet right now as far as the economy and economics? So you see the rise of the BRICS coming up. I mean, is that really what most of this is all about? Really, isn't it really all about who's gonna be the world reserve currency or the world economic system?
Yeah, it's crypto.
It's that too. But I'm just saying, if you look at the system that's been being set up, and since it's been talked about, I mean, originally, Bruce, wasn't this BRICS bank set up for the Silk Road, the new Silk Road project, and they were going to build this new economic pathway through all these places so they could eliminate having to go over the sea, and they wanted to do everything on roads.
Yeah.
And that was the original thing, and they actually invited Trump 3 times to join it, and he said no. Because this was an investment on construction and building this new world pathway. And so but see, though, what happened is now this has turned into something completely different, to where it's actually a system that built on the future platforms that exist, these crypto platforms that this BRICS system could easily operate around the world, eliminating the SWIFT system. So if they eliminate the SWIFT system and BRICS can go on here, what do you think about that? I mean, is maybe that what this is, a lot of what this is all about?
That's the play. Yeah, I think so. That's the play. To put it in crypto, replace it, and then we're just all left, they say the musical chairs game. We're the ones standing when everybody else has all the chairs at some point.
Well, you can see
what's going on here.
Go ahead.
They've been having crypto. It's called credit.
Yeah, but
taking numbers out of thin air.
Yeah.
It's been here. It's been here.
Broke up a little bit there, but I think we got the gist of what you're saying.
No, that's right. We're saying the SWIFT system it'll replace that.
But
I'm curious. You're in the trucking community, right, Sergeant Miller? You're still out there on the road.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm on I-10 now, headed to Texas.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
I know it well.
Hey,
I hope you're not stuck in Fresno.
So the big talk in the crypto world is the replacement of the SWIFT system. That's what they're talking about doing. That is the thing that's going on across the world. But Bruce, doesn't America use the SWIFT system against countries like Russia?
The SWIFT system is the basis of economic embargoes and sanctions, yes. So the economic leverage of the State Department would be lost, and every action they took to change the behavior of another nation state would have to be something more dramatic. And I personally think they've massively abused the financial power and the power to sanction in the last 15 or 20 years. No doubt they were operating at the behest of the global. Everything we're seeing is part of a globalist drama, right? So um, I think what they were doing in many instances was the will of this globalist body. But they definitely abused it, right? Like, and I mean, to put it into perspective, all through World War II, the U.S. Federal Reserve and the Bank of England continued to follow the orders out of Berlin of Hitler and the Nazi Party and faithfully rendered their financial transactions. So in World War II, I mean, you could bomb cities, you could carpet bomb, you could set up concentration camps, but the money was still considered sacrosanct. Like it was unheard of, because it was just unheard of that you would steal somebody's money or freeze their money. Look, and I don't want to incite epic with this next comment, but just look at what they've done with the Russian money. I mean, they've literally stolen $300 to $500 billion of Russian money in this Ukrainian conflict.
Well, you
Got
know,
a ruble.
yeah. Well, listen. The thing is I got to ask you this because if in fact, you know, all this stuff. I mean, it's been going on for 6-7 months of heated discussions about this SWIFT system being antiquated or whatever, antiquated. And they've already moved the Fed onto this new ISO 220, whatever it is. And so if in fact that's true, could that be the reason for this self-destruction that's going on with our political system? Because we are one step away. If the Swiss system is taken away, then and that takes away that power that we have over other countries, then that means we're moving one step closer to a new world order. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I think we definitely are. Go ahead. We got about 6 minutes before we're going to join Ground Zero Plus. So we'll have like a few minutes of intro. So you guys will have to chill out with us.
So I think everything that's going on now is just distraction, and I think there's a point where the trap is just clamps down on the ankle and you can't get out of it, and they're waiting for that point. Now it's becoming pretty transparent what they're doing. I mean, even dim-witted people are starting to see it, and by dim-witted I mean people who never really in any dramatic way questioned the legitimacy of our governing institutions or
shit. Sorry, Bruce.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Just getting ready for
Yeah,
that.
no worries. Yeah, so even dim-witted people are starting to question it now. And I mean, they're incredibly brazen, right? And my perspective is no surprise to anyone on this panel. I've been saying it since 2020. I kind of figured it out writing The Light of Darkness that it's all about the Temple of Solomon. You see, there's a law, and the law is a part of the cosmic unity, and there are many classes of beings, most of them not really physical like us. You can call them orders of angels if you want, you know, seraphim and archangels and angels and all of that sort of stuff, cherubim, or extraterrestrials. It doesn't really matter. I think that is, again, another dualistic distraction. But there's a law to this cosmology, and it revolves around consent. And if they can get global governance out of Jerusalem with the third temple, like, that will be that is the Jewish equivalent of the 1,000-year Reich Hitler dreamed of.
Well, there's been rumors of Third Temple flags being flown over in Israel
Well,
Rock-
they say they did a test run on one of the red heifers, but I don't think you can test run a ritual like that. I think they really did
I
it.
don't think so either. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There's no test run rituals, man.
All right. Hey,
That is the
listen.
magic works, right?
Yeah, and there's also the Hopi prophecies of the white buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about that, Bruce. You know, with the red heifer, the white buffalo, the man in the red hat. You know, it's real coincidental.
How does the white buffalo connect to the temple ritual and the immolation of the red heifer? I don't understand.
Well, those are the signs according to the Hopi prophecy. When you're gonna see like the incoming of the age of Aquarius.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but we in it, the age of information. And another thing people need to watch out. August 2nd, you're gonna have a solar eclipse, and it will be directly over Mecca and Medina. So that is another sign of the prophecy. So be paying attention to that.
Huh. Well, listen, we're about to join Ground Zero Plus now. Have you guys ever heard about what's going on in Romania? Have you heard about the Bucegi Mountains and these what's been found? Because that's what we're going to be talking about next hour. Right now, coming up here when we come back.
Yeah.
So, for people who don't. Go ahead.
That's Peter Moon writes about Romania a lot, right?
Yeah. Peter Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've talked about this a long time ago, but I started looking into it again the other day, and there's a whole bunch to this that I didn't know about. That if it's in fact true, it's going to be some mind-blowing discussions for sure. All right, so listen, we got about 2 minutes, so we're going to be joining them, you guys, so just stand by, and we'll be back in a minute, eh? All right. So here we go. Get ready.
The dark of the sky, the light of the moon, the solitary figure will be home very soon. He has braved the storms of time, his life is on the line. He's been praying to a savior, please take me away from here. The man in the ship has a lot to fear. He hasn't seen home in almost years.
We're hot. It's Friday night.
It's alright. Let's go ahead.
Radio. Welcome to the jungle.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern.
It's into the microcosm, hour number 2. Yeah, we'd like to welcome Ground Zero Plus. Welcome. It's time to get small. Real small.
In bedrooms and size.
Trapped in the night, moving alone, caught in a world of glass and stone.
Down a skin and bone.
I'm down to skin and bones, Rockario. Are you there?
I am here.
I just want to make sure you're still there.
Yes, I am.
It was a lively discussion there, and I didn't hear you. But now I can hear you.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I got my opinions out in the beginning, so.
Well, you guys weren't here, but we were discussing president circumstances. But you can find that on the replay and here on Ground Zero Plus. Don't forget, fully listener supported. Come on down, become supporters. You know, I don't know if there's a place where you can say into the microcosm when you're supporting, but if you can, do, and if you know.
Glass and stone.
Down the
There's Gamma, Skin and Bone off the Gamma 2 LP, Rock and Rio.
Yeah. That's one you don't hear too often.
No. Well, listen, we got a bunch of friends hanging out tonight. Sergeant Miller's here. And, of course, Epic Journeyman's here. Rockario's there. And there he is over there, Bruce McDonald, Talamanca Mountains, Costa Rica. There they go. Sometimes, you know, music is just really calms the savage beast, doesn't it, Rockario?
Yeah, I guess it's effective.
Are we loud enough?
Yeah, mind altering.
Mind altering. Yeah, so we're about to start talking about these the mountains over in Romania. Now, Rock and Rio, Epic Journeyman, what do you guys know about these Romanian mountains? Because there's lots of rumors. We're going to get into some of that tonight.
I know that King Charles is supposed to be a descendant of Dracul, right? Basically.
Dracul.
And and that there's all these rumors going way back, but even to the present day that are actually not rumors, are fact, of still wild bears attacking people in the woods of Romania. Wild animals. They say are bears, but attacking people in the foothills of Romania. And they seem to coincide with these cabins of the elite who camp in the private lodges out in the Romanian mountains.
Well,
so there's something odd going on there. I think.
Good friend of mine, Jan Dean, which God rest his soul. I don't know if he's still alive, but if he is, still God rest his soul. He was a hardworking dude. But anyways, the point is, he moved there because he was obsessed with Dracul, and he literally bought a house just not too far from the castle. And that's where he spent his days. But, so, Bruce, you're here too. Now, what do you know about these Bucegi Mountains? Now, there's this, there was a broadcast in 2009 from a television show called Antena 1. Is that, are you familiar with that?
No.
Yeah, so here's what happened. Here's the detail of the phone call. So, the guy answers the phone. He says, "Hello, good day." The caller says, "We're sending you a warning." And this is Romania in Romanian. "We're sending you a warning. Be very careful. Stop talking about the Bucegi Mountains." The reporter asked, "Who are you?" Caller said, "You've entered a dangerous game. This information must remain within certain structures. You have families. You are young. There are other things to talk about in Romania." Reporter says, "Who are you?" A caller says, "Don't wish to know us or be interviewed by us."
Okay.
Okay. What about you?
Well, what I know about Romania, and I'm not quite sure. Somebody else go first. I just water's boiling. I gotta make my coffee.
No. Yeah, so
Okay.
listen, the Pentagon's satellites, in 2002, ground-penetrating radar declassified was deployed in the Bucegi Mountains It revealed two impossible anomalies: a vertical energy wall between Babel and the Sphinx rock, a hemispherical dome inside the mountain buried under solid stone. The Pentagon was already aware of a similar shield in Iraq, when it activated full diplomatic pressure. Within weeks, Romania was fast-tracked into NATO. And then the Vatican delivered ancient texts tied to Romanian exoteric history. So the Romanian shield was breached and a mirror system beneath Baghdad suddenly activated. Pulsating energy surged under the sands. A hologram flickered on. First Earth, then Europe, then the Bucegi Mountains, then a precise corridor inside the mountain. Inside the forbidden vault in the grand gallery of what was been discovered, there was 10 massive tablets, 2.5 meters high, carved with glowing symbols that were not painted, but they were fluorescent etched glyphs. Each tablet contained a different discipline: biology, cosmology, spirituality, and genetics. Hologram activated upon approach. So you'd walk up to one of these tablets and there would just be something would materialize, whatever the subject matter was. Holograms activated upon approach: spinning DNA strands, unfamiliar animals, and star maps from lost epochs. Interactive interfaces allowed DNA merging between humans and unknown beings. Now, have you guys heard anything about any of this?
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of Powell finding the caverns in the Grand Canyon, right? Where it's like this entrance to Agartha kind of thing, where they got the statues and the tablets and all that stuff there, and the hieroglyphic writing. It's entrance like this thoroughfare as access these other places across the planet. Like there's this subway, ancient subway that connects all these places around the world. Yeah, and they have this whole thing with it where it has not an altar to gods, but a tribute to famous warriors or people or whatever they might be, philosophers. Who knows? The statues of these people, these like you said, these tablets and things. It's all over the world. There's references this kind of thing. And I think it's interesting. This one makes reference specifically to DNA. I hadn't heard that before.
And it also it makes reference to hey Steve, what's going on? It makes reference to tunnels to Egypt and Tibet that come from this mountain specifically. Now, Bruce and you guys, were you aware that there was a crucifixion playback? Did you know that, Bruce? Crucifixion playback.
I don't know what it means.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, the hologram showed the crucifixion of Jesus. Among the crowd, beings from other eras watched quietly, faces hidden. This was not a simulation. It was a recorded event, replayed through crystalline temporal interface. So apparently this was a monumental moment that was captured to be replayed forever in this library of ancient history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Yeah, it's
new on me too.
Yeah, listen, at the Library of the Universe, at the room's center, a giant holographic dome with a timeline projection of Lemuria and Atlantis, the Great Flood, shown in detail. The extinction of the dinosaurs, not by asteroid, but by global liquefaction. Every moment was astronomically mapped with star positions used precisely date events by the Earth's precise precession cycle. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're going through a big rabbit hole when you mention Lemuria. Because we have a friend of Rev Radio, Vasto Vlad. I don't know, y'all probably heard of him. But he was on my show a while back, and we got through the history of like Romania being like an eastern province of Rome. And then it's a mixture of Mongolian mixture of Ottoman, the Ottoman Empire mixed with the Roman Empire. So when you put all those things together and then come to Hitler taking over the word Aryan, when he went study with the Tibetans about history. And then you realize the underground tunnels. Some people say they have, like pyramid-like structures, and they have the pinwheel of life, which, they call it the Nazi symbol.
Mm-hmm.
But that's an ancient symbol for the 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, and water. There's also a constellation. The Orion's belt, Aryan, Orion is the same thing. So when you're talking about that, you have to get into astrology, astronomy, ancient philosophies to really see what they're saying. Because back in the day, people communicated with signs and symbols, and it's still relevant to this day.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I mean, Epic Journeyman, this here says these buried interface near the Great Pyramid. So Tunnel 1 goes to Egypt, and it says sealed structure shows holographic synchronization with Bucegi. Tunnel number. Go ahead.
Let me just add a little bit to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Not specifically about the tunnels, but what I learned about Romania. Romania has active megalithic sites. So megalithic sites are, I think the pyramids in Egypt are megalithic sites, but I think they're deactivated for the most part, meaning that they've been energetically decommissioned, which would be some form of, I suppose, magical process.
Or the ley lines aren't in the same place that they used to be.
Yeah, but this is a kind of construction that goes back to a society that could fuse what we would call science and magic. They would, that Arthur C. Clarke thing where you can't tell the difference between them.
Yeah.
Now, these megalithic sites that are active in Romania, they're quite extraordinary energetically. So, for example, the stones around them, they'll grow. So you go one year, you go the following spring, and a stone that was 30 centimeters is suddenly 40, 50 centimeters. The stones literally grow. This is what happens around megalithic sites. Now, Romania, because I don't know how it preserved itself, it's a very pure country in terms of chemicals and fertilizer, very rich soil. And there's something about the way they've existed there. So I'll bring in the Admiralty law system, the Uniform Commercial Code, which, a lot of people overlook this. They think it's nonsensical or perhaps even superstitious. But we're all taken off the land and we're put on water. And man was meant to live on land, and when we're living on land properly and and the land is consecrated, the land will have a magical quality. It'll speak to you, it'll help you, it'll warn you about things. There's all kinds of things that happen when people live on consecrated land, and you consecrate land by living on it correctly. Now, the Admiralty law system is the deconsecration of land for the average person. And Romania, I think, is one of the few holdout countries that is not in this system. I knew they weren't up until about 5 years ago. Now, I heard all of this from a good friend of Peter Moon's who spoke to him quite a bit. And this was a favorite topic also for those of you who go all the way back at Rev Radio. This was another big topic of Doug Dietrich's as well, was Romania and and he and Peter Moon were very good friends. So this is what I've heard about Romania, and I heard also it was unique. Like Hungary is not like this. Lithuania, I don't think is anymore. Romania was kind of a holdout, and it was geography and a number of other things. Also home to most of the gypsy clans in Eastern Europe were centered in Romania as well, which is another interesting fact.
Well, the thing about it is that do you guys remember this movie where I think Matt Damon went to Mars, and he goes into he finds some structure, and makes his way inside, and this whole thing goes on about the history of he starts seeing this 3D situation. This seems to be the same thing that's being described here, and it's interesting because there was a bunch of talk separately about stuff going on in Iraq, and the real reason that the war in Iraq happened, or whatever, because of certain things that were there. That
Tomb Nimrod, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
About that.
Yeah, the tomb.
But no,
Nimrod,
you actually got me thinking about. So I dug into this a little bit. The god of the mountain in Romania, there, and it's Zalmoxis. We hadn't really studied before, but as soon as they talked about the god of the mountain, I had to go look into this. Zalmoxis guy is a Thracian god from about 425 BC that we know of, but he's Crom from Conan the Barbarian. That's what he is, right? Living in his mountain. He's a god of the afterlife and things like that. But his symbol, Sergeant Moore just brought up the how it looks like the Nazi symbol a little bit, right? But it's a symbol. That symbol is called the warped beanstalk or something like that. And he's got another symbol of him holding up a staff, and it's like the DNA, around the staff. Another reference exactly there. So all the stuff was right there in Romania, and the very tombs you're describing opening up and going into the mountain, the god of the mountain, the sacred mountain there in Romania is exactly this reference. I mean, it has the symbologies there inside the mountain. Minus maybe the holograms. It doesn't reference the holograms yet, but would they mention if it was there? I don't think they would.
It says in here the Pentagon team noted hemispherical energy barrier that had the same vibrational frequency and the same shape as the one that they found in the very secret underground structure they discovered in Baghdad, Iraq. Shortly after this discovery, the Iraq War broke out, and a few months after that, Americans had access to the biggest secret in the area, which the Iraqis knew nothing about. They managed to drill past the first barrier, but the second could not be bypassed. Anything that was known onto this barrier turned to dust. When the soldiers got too close to the barrier, they would collapse from cardiac arrest. How they got through is posted later. But once they entered what was known as the Grand Gallery, which is what we're talking about right now. So, I mean, let me ask you guys a question. This is a serious question. Do you think reverse engineering is possible? For real?
Yes.
I mean, I'm just saying, if I gave you if you didn't know anything about anything, and I handed you a resistor, you're telling me that you think people could sit around and just look at an object and figure out what it does, just like you could figure out what somebody meant by drawing some squiggly symbol on the side of a ancient wall.
Like the symbol for Aquarius, which is parallel sawtooth lines. Yeah, interesting, right? So, I'm thinking about that. I've thought about that a lot. Those call them UPARTs, the YouTube channels that made that famous, out of place artifacts. Like you find the transistor, million-year-old piece of shell coal, and you find the axe hidden inside some, the same kind of thing. Or coal is a little different because it's soft, right? And it's pliable. Maybe something can happen through a previous flood and deposit things there, but. But what if it's true? What if there's a million-year-old spark plug, right?
I know. Well, the thing is, what if
how are you going to know what it does?
What if
how are you going to know what it does?
I hand you. You're telling me. Listen, I'm really asking you the feasibility of this. That people just sit around able to do this. I hand you a piece of fiber optic cable. I hand it to you. Okay. What do? How long would you sit there trying to figure out what it was and what it did?
Before you shine the
And then-
flashlight on it. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Wouldn't
and
until
then
you
you
shine the
gotta-
flashlight on it.
Bruce, do you think reverse engineering possible, or do you think it's just existing shit that people have control over? I mean, I honestly do.
I definitely think it's possible. Yes, I do believe that there was reverse engineered technology that is not of any human civilization, whether it came through another dimension or whatever you want to fix there. I don't want to get into a fight about what it is, extraterrestrials or what have you, but there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming. I mean, there's a lot of phonies out there. I mean, a lot of people muddying the water and distracting from the magic and all of this. But then there's other bona fide people like Rich Dolan. Who just does straight up Air Force research and stuff. And there's no linear path to the technology they have.
Well, that's the thing that bothers me. That bothers me even with the so-called Antiquitech stuff. Even with the Teslas and the Edisons and all these people. To me, honestly, how long would it take for you to sit there and figure out the stars that are in the sky are moving in a certain place at a certain time, and to document all that shit?
Yeah.
And then to know it all and then pass it down to another person. To me, it seems more likely that knowledge has always been here.
Didn't Tesla prove that? Didn't he use reverse engineering to get in touch with the ethos?
Well, it's hard to know. I think in Jimmy's argument is I think there's a middle ground here. Like if I found, say 1,000 years ago, you gave a civilization an automobile, right? The whole automobile, but like a Model T, not too complex, like a Model T.
Anything.
And over the years, tires, rot and everything like that, but they don't break it otherwise. They will figure it out eventually because it's all together. But if I just give them a spark plug, I don't think they're going to figure out what a spark plug is. You know what I mean? That's the problem with those out-of-place artifacts.
And Bruce is right, too, because that's what I'm saying. I don't think there was some guy sitting around figuring out how flying saucers work. You telling me that if somebody had a craft that was being flown by people from another planet, let's say, and then the people from the other planet, they weren't there anymore. And so, but now you got this craft and it's sitting there. It's just sitting there floating around, It's got a door on it. I mean, how long would it take you to figure out how to open the door? And then, once you got in it, then you're looking at, what are you looking at? I mean, how could you reverse engineer something like that? Seriously.
By accident. Lightning strikes it or something, the light goes through the right way, or like even the fiber optic cable.
That's what I mean.
Put up against a flashlight for the first time.
That's
like
what
a
I
red
mean.
light. All of a sudden you see come out the other side, like, wait a minute.
You hear this.
I know what this could be used for.
It's like fiber optics is reversed engineered technology. I mean, so like
you have to learn how to make it.
Well, that's what I mean. Just making a fiber optic cable and the stuff that you would need to make it. The idea to conceive it and then go, hey, this is a fiber optic cable. Let me make a machine that makes fiber optics. I don't know.
Now you just make cool ornamental things with different colored light, like they did back in the 70s. Well, even New Age stores in Sedona right now, you walk in there and have a fiber optic sculpture, right, with different lights flashing through and colors, making this 3D thing with the little ends of the fiber optic on the other side. It looked really cool, but would you figure out you could use it for communications? I mean, how long would it take to do that? Like the Model T is more realistic.
How long did it take for some dude in a jungle somewhere to figure out how to hollow out a log to use it as a canoe? And then it went from there all the way to giant wooden ships with sails that are
hundreds of years. Yeah,
you're telling me hundreds of years?
From the time it was a dugout canoe, because they just saw that in a flood tree going down the the river or something after a flash flood or something. But from the time from there to selling ships, hundreds of years. I mean, by the time you got to where you could actually, build something that wouldn't normally float, understood the concept of buoyancy, right? You make a raft first. That took dozens of years, let's say.
I'll tell you right now, if you decided today you invented a sailing ship and you were going to put some sails on it, you'd have to have a whole computer program on there to figure out exactly how to weave and make that sail so that when the winds hit it, it didn't destroy the sail or tear,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
hundreds of years. Yeah.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
what? So you're telling me then they went from the hollowed out canoe to giant ships where they had people sitting around with needles and threads weaving up the sails to go on those giant ships. Is that what you're telling me?
But you know how I see this, and I have this image in my head of a Bugs Bunny cartoon where they had the canoe and he put a stick in it, right? And they've got like those onesie underwears that people used to wear,
Right,
back
exactly.
in the old days, hanging off it like a flag, right?
To dry it
And
off
maybe,
because he was swimming.
so somebody had some clothes hanging on the line, and that's maybe where the idea for the sail came from.
Everything.
I'm sure it did.
Everything's accidental. It's like man. It's like how
Serendipitous,
did
yeah.
man become a meat eater? Well, he was just sitting there in his cave one day, and then the lightning struck, hit a tree, and it
Smelled
fell
some
over
burnt
and
animal. That
killed.
smells pretty good.
Yeah, he killed him. It fell over on an animal, and the tree burned the animal, and then he ate the meat, and then he decided that hey man, let's have a barbecue.
It smelled that smelled good, right? Like, hey, that burning meat sounds pretty good, man.
Or he just simply saw other large mammals eating meat and said, I wonder if that would work for me.
You think? But then then he would eat it
Absolutely.
raw. Then he would be eating it raw.
Yeah, I mean, meat eating probably started raw, which is probably what gave pork its really bad reputation because it's full of parasites if you don't cook it, right?
Yeah.
Makes complete sense, actually, when you think about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's Ground Zero Plus. My name's Jimmy. It's in the microcosm. We're coming up here at the top of the hour. Rock and Rio, are you going to have to reconnect the call?
Yeah, at the top of the hour.
Sounds good. Well, you know what that means.
It's time for a little tunage.
That's right. All right. Listen, we'll be right back.
What's the problem?
Smells like fish in here.
What is that? What was that? Some sort of signal? Huh? Is that a signal? No. You wearing a wire? No.
It really does smell like fish in here.
You're a damn cop, ain't you? That's it. Show these guys what we do to cops.
Say hello to the devil for me!
Behind you! I've been hit! Wobble! Kill them!
Welcome. Welcome to the show. What's up, Popeye? Hour number 3. Rock and Rio. Have you arrived?
I am here.
Excellent. Have we been joined by Bruce McDonald, Sergeant Miller, Epic Journeyman?
Yes, we have.
Excellent.
All present and accounted for.
Right on. Well, it's hard.
There you go.
It's hard.
At ease.
All right. Well, so what's going on, Sergeant Miller? Now, what do you think about this? Now, I've seen a lot of talk recently about Tartaria, and I see some people are saying that they think Tartarians might be Moors. Have you heard this?
Well, I study it, because being from Louisiana and traveling this world, they put a stigma on me that I'm just a country boy, not intelligent, less than. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something I had to deal with. But everywhere I've traveled, I've learned, if you learn their culture, you learn to say hello, thank you, water, food, bathroom. If you learn these languages and try to assimilate, people will open up to you because they see that, you're good natured. So being from Louisiana, Southern hospitality, Southern comfort, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I carried that with me. And that right there took me a long way, traveling the world and being curious.
Mm-hmm.
So,
now you spend I was gonna say you spend time looking into the Moors throughout America.
Yes, but that word Moor is in many languages. You have Moros, you have Moristos, you have MUUR, which is real prominent in Louisiana. You have the Washita Moors, MUUR. According to my studies, that's descendants of Lemuria. And there is a city called Point Coupee, where they have like a bird-like structure. It's shaped like an amphitheater, or like the Senate, where you have the high ground and then the people would meet around it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the shape of an eagle. And learning that, you're like, damn, Washington is the same. So you have Washington, D.C. with the Senate, and then you got the Washita Moors with an actual landmark that is in the shape of a Senate.
Huh.
So it's real interesting. And I wish I was in front of my laptop, but unfortunately
you're on the road
on my cell phone. Yes, sir.
You're
yes,
on the
sir.
road. So now, Rock and Rio, what do you think about this Romanian pathway of these tunnels? Because, there's deeper implications, obviously, and, it's not the only place. And typically now, you have people on Google Earth searching, literally scouring the Earth, looking for unnatural pyramid-like structures. People finding buildings in what people looked at in the past as just a canyon, but now all of a sudden it's starting to pan out and look like melted buildings or complexes that are falling down and after being destroyed.
Well, as far as the pyramids go, they found them in the Brazilian jungles. They find them in all over the place in Africa. The same thing with the tunnels. I think there's tunnels all over the world. I mean, there's rumors of tunnels under the U.S. that go from the Pacific Ocean to Colorado or wherever. Why not? Why couldn't? Why wouldn't that be a realistic thing? I mean, the underground passages between sites is, it's been used as escape routes. It's been used as hiding places for centuries. Just because we haven't discovered them all or know where they are, doesn't mean they ain't there.
All right. Well, listen. Go ahead.
No, I was just laughing. Yeah, just because you don't know it's there, don't mean it's not there. Great point.
Yeah, and so here I was referencing this earlier, the Black Flood of 1657. Now, have you guys heard of this? The Black Flood of 1657. Yeah. So here, in case you haven't, it refers to a massive liquefaction event where mud, silt, ash, and black water swept through cities. Entire lower levels of buildings were buried suddenly. Historical records were erased, rewritten, or attributed to natural disasters. A geoelectric or atmospheric discharge or a massive plasma event from the sun or sky, possibly a micronova or atmospheric inversion. These are possible reasons for it. Lightning-like strikes or sky plasma discharge liquefying the ground through vibration and cymatic destruction. This is consistent with the blackened ruins and the magnetized stone in buried cities. So 1657 comes up with and Tartarian aligned theories because historical cities underwent rebuilding right after 1657, but many buildings appear older than that with signs of mud damage. Records pre-1650s become sparse, contradictory, or rewritten.
I just had a thought, Jimmy. When we nuked the moon a few years back, right? They said it rang like a bell.
What?
So, what if
I mean, we nuked the moon?
Yeah, we did.
I did not know this. How did I miss this?
Oh, yeah, it wasn't that long ago, like 10 years ago or something.
Jeez.
But so if the moon vibrates like that when it got hit, right? What if we talk about the asteroid or whatever, something hit the Earth and caused it to vibrate? And if it vibrated at just the right resonant frequency, wouldn't that cause liquefaction the same way? I mean,
yeah.
Earthquakes do. So,
do you see? Have Santa Cruz, California, downtown was a lot of brick buildings, and when the '89 earthquake happened, anything that was brick was totally destroyed. Now, we've talked about it before, about the Civil War and the destruction. And you see all these buildings that are falling down, and how many cannonballs it would take to knock a building like that down. Because cannonballs don't explode when they hit the building; they just hit it. So I mean, it seems that would seem more in line with piles of bricks, some sort of an earthquake, or a ringing or a vibration like Rio's talking about.
Well, my mind went to the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. Frequency. One of the laws in the Hermetic principle is the law of vibration. It says everything vibrates.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my mind went when you said that. And didn't they say Liberty Bell is cracked?
Well, listen to this here. Following 1657, we see this is the Black Flood. Following 1657, we see the rise of the Royal Society, 1660. The British Empire, formalized in the mid-1600s. Jesuit control of scientific chronology and rebuilding efforts look like uncovering efforts, not new construction.
Yeah.
Think about it in Civil War time. What was the use of the drummer when the infantry was marching against each other? What was the use of that drummer? He didn't have any. He didn't have a musket. He didn't have anything. He had 2 drumsticks and a drum.
Yeah.
But that was the cadence. That was the heartbeat. You know, you knew you was gonna die if you was on the front line. So, I mean, you know, these are thoughts that came to my mind when you brought up the frequency, you know, vibration.
Yeah. Well, listen, hey Bruce, one last point. Here's the summary of the whole thing. The Black Flood of 1657 was not just a flood; it was a reset event, a deep liquefaction or energetic cataclysm, buried parts of cities worldwide, and erased records and allowed a new elite to rewrite history. The mud flood was not water. It was sediment, data, memory, and truth blacked out and buried.
Like the missing centuries in Rollerball, right? Right. The movie Rollerball, right? This is what 13th century is missing or whatever, and they had to rewrite it. But you know what I was thinking of when earlier on we were talking about these interconnecting tunnels, and I was thinking of the biblical verse about the Great Flood and how God unleashed the fountains of the earth upon the earth. It implies that there's this vast amount of water under the earth that was able to be released onto the earth. Mm-hmm. Well, how would that happen? Like you're talking about this liquefaction aspect, like squeezing the earth, like if you imagine the entire earth being squeezed, like it was, say, a third bigger than it is now, and you squeeze it like a sponge, right? It unleashes everything, and and the water firmament breaks, and the water canopy breaks, and everything, it speeds up the earth, right? Because Enoch lived before the flood. Earth was 360 day transit around the sun up until that moment.
Chicago right? Brew in the chat saying the moon wasn't nuked. He said they hit it with something, but it wasn't a nuke, but it rang for a day. Rock and roll.
Well, yeah, the more recent one is they crashed some spacecraft into a crater to try to find water at the bottom of the moon, be in the shadow.
Is that India? India did that.
But it was before that. There were years ago. There was a nuclear test on the far side of the moon.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Are you referring to that video on YouTube where they had like a cloud of smoke coming from the side of the moon?
No, it was, I don't know. This was like, 10, 20 years ago or something. They did a test. It was leaked. It was in the news for a very short period of time, and then kind of disappeared. And then now, now it was just anything you find on Google will say it didn't happen. It was just it was only planned. It never executed.
Man, I'll tell you what, there seems to be...
It's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down.
There seems to be giant skulls and skeletons around all of these facility, and it goes back to that Chaco Canyon where, Mancorn, where they were, these red-haired giants would just come through this gaping porthole on the side of nowhere and just come out and start eating people. So eventually they had to go up and move up into the rocks. With these,
Well, Bruce remembers John Z. John Z talked about encounters with giants in the mountains of Afghanistan. So
yeah, that's why I was bringing it up, because there was, this Bucegi mountain thing with the anomaly in Baghdad with the energetic signature that matched the what they saw with the radar in Romania. So I'm just bringing that up because there was a story, Epic Journeyman of the Kandahar giant, the red
giant Kandahar. Yeah. It was Tom Hornsby made that up. Steve.
He made it up.
Yeah, well, he's the one that brought it up in a radio program first and wrote about it, and kind of caught on for his story.
You thought he made it up?
I totally thought he made it up. Yeah, absolutely. Because I heard it at the time. I heard it live at the.
What was the made up story?
That the platoon of American soldiers who were in Kandahar region on some patrol. They went to this cave, right? And we were at the cave. Then this coming out, there's bones all around the front entrance of this cave. And when they get closer to the cave, this creature, 10, 12 feet tall, but really massive, comes in this giant pike and like stabs one of the guys right away and starts shooting at, stabs a couple other guys, and takes out a bunch of the platoon, but they still take him down. They shoot him, and they end up, it's too heavy to transit down. They bring a helicopter, like a CH-47 helicopter, to pick him up, and they try to load him on there.
You know what? You're making me, tomorrow night on Chilluminati, we're going to have a game show here tomorrow night. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 people. Bruce, will you join us tomorrow night?
I'll try my best.
Okay, listen, because here's what I want to do. I want to have 3 people each tell a story, like a news story or something. One of them is going to be bullshit. Okay? 2 of them are going to be true. And then you guys got to figure out who's telling the truth. That's what we'll call it. Who's telling the truth tomorrow night. And let me ask you a question. Will you be here? Sergeant Miller, you want to come by? You can come.
I'm off on Saturday. So
all right. Well, 8 o'clock Pacific tomorrow night, you can stop by and we'll take calls.
And on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll be on Ground Zero Plus too. Yeah. So we'll take calls.
I'll put that on my calendar.
I actually have a prize. I have this wooden toad over here. It's carved. I think it's black, some kind of black something. But if you win the contest tomorrow, if you're the winner, I'll FedEx you this wooden toad as the prize. So, Epic Journeyman, you definitely got to be involved because you need to tell a story.
I'm going to be on the Big Island tomorrow. We'll see if I can get on linked to my Starlink.
With Starlink, I
doing yard work.
I heard Starlink was out. Yeah, CAC hasn't been back since his microphone thing. So
my uncle had to reboot some stuff yesterday, so I hope it's all okay. So it was working later.
All right, okay.
It was out yesterday for a little while. First time it's been out since I got it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because you know what? They said Putin said he warned Musk if he kept doling out the Starlink to Zelensky, that he was going to take it out. And I saw a thing yesterday, a tech thing that said that the routers for Starlink were taken out yesterday.
Shit.
Hey, Russia has some technology that only been used on USS Donald Cook. Remember that EMP pulse. Let me tell you something. Russia just playing with baby food right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that.
Command and Conquer, right?
Well,
Red Alert.
Yeah.
The other thing,
Steve Quayle's that guy's name, by the way. Steve Quayle. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering his name all the time. Quayle should be easy to remember, right? Like the vice president.
Doesn't he has a thing where he goes red screen or something. If you go to his website and it's red screen, it means he boned out. No, his big thing recently, the thing he's been working on that last heard was the big West Coast volcanoes, earthquake anomaly or whatever. Some giant situation that's about to blow off at any minute. So
the one off Seattle?
He goes,
that's
yeah,
legit.
Yeah, all of it. Just they're all connected. Yeah. It's just one big giant thing that's about to happen. And so if he goes red screen, that means you better head to the bunker.
It's like that guy in 2012 or whatever with was it Jeff Bridges or no it was I forget the movie. It was a disaster movie, yeah, but the guy up in the radio station. Right.
Oh man, you guys want to open up these phones?
You gonna invite the unwashed on, Jimmy?
Oh, come on. We open up the phones and get some takes on what we're talking about. Or,
I
go ahead. You want me to open them up? Here we go. 831-337-8711. That's the number to call if you want to get a hold of us. Oh, it's been a long week, man, but I'm telling you, tomorrow night's going to be fun with that game show. Now, Rock and Rio, since it's Saturday night, are you going to delve into any of this talking that's been going on this week? There's plenty of shit on tape.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to see if I have any time.
All right, well, listen. 831-337-8711 is the number to call. Here's Montrose Gamma 1. Man, when this came out, this kicked ass.
Wake up in the morning, wonder why I'm feeling so down. Is it any wonder when all I get is pushed around? There's talk around town, you made up your mind, you really wanna let me go. But if you think it's that easy, you better think twice, 'cause I got something you ought to know. It's gonna be a fight to the finish. It's gonna be you or it's gonna be me. A fight to the finish. That's the only way.
You know what, man? I just remembered when I was like, me and a bunch of my rocker buddies, we all worked at this rental car place. So we would, pick up customers, clean the cars, this kind of shit. And we all worked there. It was just like 4 or 5 of us. And when when the AC/DC album came out, the Black Album, we went around to all the cars. We rolled the windows down. We turned on the radios because they were gonna play it. They were gonna play the Black Album. It came out after Bon Scott died. We just cranked that shit.
It's gonna be a fight to the finish. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be a fight to
831-337-8711 is the number to call, I think. The phone's not ringing. But there you go, Epic Journeyman, Sergeant Miller, Rock and Rio. Fight to the finish.
Is that Paul Rogers or Foreigner? I couldn't quite place sometimes the voice. I don't
that
know the
was
song.
Ronnie Montrose Gamma with
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't get the voice. I was like, that's so close to either one of those guys.
Davey Pattison on vocals.
Yeah, not familiar with the.
You won't even believe this. I'm going to tell you this right now, but you won't even believe it. And I'll tell you anyway. It's the truth. I wouldn't make it up. So, there was a guy by the name of Michael. Can't remember his last name now. It'll come to me. But he was one of the house soundmen at Keystone Palo Alto. And then he started because he was at the Keystone, bands would come in and they'd meet him, and they'd he's a cool guy. He was a good sound engineer. So eventually he became Robin Trower's sound man. And Robin Trower had hired some dude, some vocalist, and he was just some dude or whatever. He's kind of like a David Lee Roth character. And I went up to the soundboard and I was talking to Mike, and I said, dude, you guys should get Davey Patterson. And literally, the next album that came out, I think it's In the Mist. Fucking Davey Patterson. Just because he sounded like more like Robin Trower's. Was that his bass player, Rio? Robin Trower's, who sang in Robin Trower's band?
I think it was, yeah.
Davey Patterson.
Robin Trower didn't sing.
No, it was I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was his bass player.
Yeah, I think it was.
Anyways, 831-337-8711 the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. I think, is Bruce back, or I think Bruce left? Bruce has left the building. You can find his books on Amazon. Bruce MacDonald.
Yeah, and happy belated birthday there, Bruce.
Oh, is it Bruce's birthday?
No, belated. I remember, I think it was a week ago. Was it a week ago?
No, really?
Bruce?
Oh, we didn't know, man.
Oh, yeah. Happy belated birthday, man. Like a week after mine then, yeah.
Nah, if we would have known it was your birthday, man, we'd have done something on here. Well, tomorrow night, if you come by, we didn't know. At least I didn't. Rio, did you know it was Bruce's birthday?
No, I didn't.
No, me neither. So, sorry about that,
I don't
Bruce.
even know when my birthday is.
I know.
right. No, I remember now, his was close to mine. Mine's 7-11, and his was like 7-14 or something. We'll see when he comes back.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, listen. It's late. It's in the middle of the night. It's Ground Zero Plus. Remember, you can become listener-supported people. You can support us. Come on by. And either place. You can come over to Revolution Radio. You can come over to Ground Zero Plus. Either way, either place you want to support, we would really appreciate it, because that's the only way we stay on the air. And I haven't really. What does that sound? Oh,
that's you.
I haven't. Yeah, no, I haven't gone over to TalkStream. I haven't gone over to
got 25%. You know.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone over to TalkStream to see where we are. Rio, you want to shout out the chat? Are you in Ground Zero Plus over there?
It can be.
You want to go shout out the chats over there in Revolution Radio and Ground Zero Plus? I don't know if you want to. Here. Let's into the microcosm. We're going to shout out the chat. Rio's going to shout out the chats. Oh, don't forget you can find Sergeant Miller on Revolution Radio on Sunday nights.
Yes. First formation.
11 o'clock Pacific, right?
It's well, I'm gonna go Central Time. I do a show 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Central Time, Sunday into Monday morning.
There you go. Don't forget, tomorrow, the first episode of Who's Telling the Truth. Rio, have you entered the inner sanctum of the chat rooms?
I have.
Excellent. There goes Pete Townsend from the White City LP. Go ahead, rock and roll.
All right, over at Rev Radio, we got Dave Ski, Lavender Streams, Unforsaken. I saw a comment in there earlier. Gear Jammer, obviously. Sergeant Miller is in there, as well as here. Harmony 369. And over at Ground Zero is Chris, Zox,
hey
Mitch, Uso, Alvarez, Mikalsk, Steve, and Mad Cat.
831-337-8711. We're number 6 over on TalkStream Live. Clyde's number 4. John B. Wells is number 1.
We gotta plan the plans.
I beg to differ.
The rules. We gotta stand the stands. We gotta fight the fight. We must follow the falls. We gotta light the light. We gotta call the calls. We must race the race.
All right. There we go.
And I have a book recommendation for you there, Jimmy.
Go ahead, man.
All right. James W. Lee. I put the link to his books in our chat. He does many books on one world, one America, when Tartarians and Moors lived in peace and harmony.
Oh, wow.
And yes. So I have the book at home. I have the PDF, but it's too big to send on Teams. So
Yeah.
that's why I just sent it a screen share.
I was having the same problem earlier. Hey, Wes, what's going on? Hey, Wes Crawford just joined us from Kentucky over in YouTube chat. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen... I'm trying to think of the name of this. It's called... Have you seen this thing, Sergeant Miller, where it's Lincoln and it's called something Africanus?
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what he had this saber. He had the saber sword.
Yeah.
Dressed in Muslim garb.
And he was super tall. And there's lots of people that say he's a Moor.
Are you talking about Abraham Lincoln?
Abrahamus.
So could I have some more?
Abrahamus Africanus. Look it up.
That's in the picture. Yeah.
Go over there right now on Google Images and type in Abrahamus Africanus.
It's before his vampire hunting days.
No, but I'm just saying the thing is that statue in Washington of Lincoln sitting there. It's white.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, it's white. That makes people think Lincoln was white, but I don't think Lincoln was white. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to,
Well, at that time, it was mulatto. Mixed mulatto. You got to study the Dungy case. That's when he was a lawyer before he even ran for president. The Dungy case on citizenship at that time.
Uh-huh.
So you gotta study that. But they say his mother was mulatto. That's from what I've studied with that.
Now, did any of you other guys go over there and look at that? Look at the image of that? I don't know.
I've seen it before.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, the thing is, man, there's a lot of controversy around these Moors, man. I'm telling you right now.
Well, if you think about it, Hannibal is from Tunisia, right, which is northern Africa, the Carthaginians, right? And he was in Iberia in Spain when he decided to go on his conquest across the Alps and go into Rome and try to defeat Rome, and had a good shot, actually. And it's interesting because the statues of him, is he black or white? He's always portrayed as white. But what were Tunisians like back in 400 AD or whatever it was? The Roman Empire fell before that. It was the Carthaginian War, so it was a couple hundred years off. But still, man, he almost pulled it off. And the reason I bring it up is there's a look. He has a beard and everything very similar to the style that Abraham Lincoln wears or used to wear. And I wonder, we look at the two statues, like the busts of each one of them side by side. They're not the same person. I'm not saying that at all. But it's almost like they're from that same Iberian, North African, Moor stock, if you will. Right?
Most people portray even Egyptians as, lighter skinned or, well, slightly darker than white people, but
The oldest
but
mummy
most of them were actually black.
The oldest mummy has red hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, there's the whole eras of Egypt, right? So there's the the Ptolemies, right, from Greece.
Here, I mean,
Cleopatra and stuff, but there's also the original ones.
I'll pour some more gasoline on the
Tutmos.
fire. I'll pour gasoline on this fire. So, okay, they say that Abe Lincoln was a black man, and that Genghis Khan was red-haired and blue eyes.
Genghis Khan, I've heard Genghis Khan was red-haired. Yeah, absolutely. But several sources.
Yeah, it's a trip, Jimmy, because like Epic was talking about Hannibal, he actually had his own coinage, and his coinage has his face on it. I think also he has the elephant on the other side, because he used elephants, to knock down walls.
That was awesome. Is there African elephants too? Can you imagine?
All right.
Yeah.
And that's where you get like the toll, because he used that military toll tactic of using tolls to restrict Rome's imports and exports. So that's why you have toll roll.
Now, Amber in the chat saying Melungian. What is that? Melungian.
Melungian. Yeah, Melungian.
Yeah. What is that?
It's like another name of a tribe or
I'm gonna look it up.
or clan.
Yeah,
Melungian.
I'm not familiar.
So
is that a Creole clan, like from the Mississippi Basin, basically?
I just found
it is,
something
isn't it?
interesting.
Go ahead, Rio.
So I was, looking up is Abraham Lincoln part black thing, and it came up with 6 presidents rumored to be black, and one of them is Calvin Coolidge, right?
There you go.
He says the 30th president was unabashed about the genealogy of his mother, whose maiden name happened to be Moore. Moor.
Wow.
There you go. I'm telling you, it's a deep rabbit hole. It's a deep. Do me a favor. Pull up John Hanson and George Washington.
Now
on Google, it'll say slave, but when you look at him, he's in a royal red garment with the turban, with the feather.
Mm-hmm. Now, this thing that Amber said, what do they call it? Melungians? Are people of mixed ethnic ancestry who historically resided in southeastern United States, particularly in the Appalachian region. They're known for their complex ancestry, which includes European, Native American, African lineage, while the term Melungian is once considered derogatory and now refers to a specific group with unique history. Now, see, I haven't heard about it, but it's interesting. Now, what are you saying now there, Rio?
So the 6 presidents that are listed here that have black history is Abraham Lincoln, Warren Harding, Calvin Coolidge, Dwight Eisenhower, Andrew Jackson, and Thomas Jefferson.
Okay, who was the first president of the first United States, the first 13?
Oh,
the very first president ever was black.
That would be John Hanson of the Continental Congress.
Right, he was black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when Obama was running for president, I remember throwing that up a bunch of times.
Yeah, and it's in recorded Canadian history, British history of John Hanson, because when the Canadians wanted their payment of silver, he actually went into the treasury and paid the Canadian Army. That's recorded Canadian history.
Man, it's just
if you look at the facial features of Lincoln and you consider his height, even minus the tall hat, there's a lot there that says Africa. Actually, the high cheekbones and there is.
Why do you think Obama was sitting there saying how he resonated with Lincoln all the time?
All right. All right. Mr. Barry Satoros himself.
Exactly. Exactamundo. 831-337-8711. That's the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. We got about 15 minutes left. No, I mean, it just seems that every single turn, everything we look at, it seems like it's 180 degrees out of from the reality of what it really was. So when we're looking at history, it looks like everything we've been told. The other thing is too is like, you know, they called them fairy tales, you know, with giants and all this.
Fee fi fo fum.
That's what I mean. They call. I smell the blood of an Englishman, right? Be he alive, be he dead. I'll grind his bones and make me bread. You know.
That Romanian god. The symbol was the magic beanstalk. It looked like a swastika.
Get out of here.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm just.
Yeah.
That was funny because I was going to reference Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah, that's legitimate. That's what they call it. I mean, it's amazing actually. It's the model of Crom from Conan the Barbarian, the god under the ground in his mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, with the two snakes meeting each other. That go
he had the caduceus. So he had the original caduceus. Yeah.
Hey, Wes in the chat says he knows some Melungians. He's in Kentucky. So apparently, is that like a bad word or whatever? I mean, it said it
no.
here.
I was thinking when Sergeant Miller said it. I was thinking Kentucky. And it was about as long the Mississippi. I don't know how far down. You know.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Mississippian mound builders. I mean that's another history they don't talk about. What comes to mind is also Carter G. Woodson. He has a book called Nature Knows No Color Line, and also 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro. So that's another book reference that you should look at there, Jimmy Jean.
So instead of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer, they should have done Abraham Lincoln NBA Superstar. It'd be cool, right?
Listen,
like the modern Abraham Lincoln,
I'm gonna ask this question. Let me ask a question real quick. Seriously, we've talked about this before. We brought it up, but I'm just gonna ask a question. What would possess somebody to make a hat like a stovepipe, and then everybody starts wearing it? It's like you're wearing this hat. And it's like, I don't know.
It wasn't a thing in rural Illinois, was it?
I'm just saying, when you're in the kitchen, when you're working the kitchen, however high up your hat is your status in the kitchen. So I'm wondering about these hats, especially like Lincoln. He's already he's like 9 feet tall, and then he got this 3-foot hat. And he's standing.
He was really tall for his time. He was 6'7" or whatever, man.
And he
tall.
was standing
they say
there.
He's 6'3", but he's taller than that.
He was part of the hidden hand, dude. I mean, you can see pictures of him standing there with his hand inside of his lapel.
There you go.
It's the hidden hand, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I just thought of a killer part of our new game show. It's killer. You know what? It can actually prove or disprove something we've been hearing for a long time. Rock and Rio, you're gonna have to be part of this now. Okay, here's what we're gonna do, Rio. Listen. So 3 people are gonna tell stories. One of the stories is gonna be totally made up. But you're gonna record all the stories. And then we're going to find out which one is the truth. And once we know, then we're going to reverse them and hear if the liar revealed himself in reverse.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
There you go, dude. That's why my name's Jimmy in this end of the microcosm. So, all right, that was a good album.
Well, Jimmy, you got my vote for new host of The Price is Right.
There you go, man. Now we had another game show we were gonna do a while back, put it all together, but we never did it. We got stung. We got hung up on a detail or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I forget what happened.
Who the hell knows? We've had a million ideas over the years. Like Epic was supposed to go over there and make a deal with the guy over in Maui for that coffee.
Dude, and this town burned down. Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm just saying.
I
mean, we had the idea. It's like, hey, hold on a second. End of the Microcosm's going to make a deal.
Oh, it'd be great.
It's like End of the Microcosm's going to make a coffee deal in Maui. Quick, burn it down. You know, I mean, come on.
Well, the coffee farm's still there. The coffee farm didn't burn down, but they sold it at this place on Front Street. Like, you know, like they had this whole connection there. And the people who work in the coffee field, they don't know, like they just work there. You know what I mean? Like I run into them all the time where I work because I go up country all the time and I'm out there. And yeah, it's a trip, right? Like the coffee still exists. They sell it somewhere. Why not us?
So the story, should these be personal stories, or should these be news stories of the day,
or like trivia stories? You know,
I mean, it could be any story. It could be a story
historical.
about, you could talk about how you went and fished and, you know, caught a fucking, you know, big one. But the story, I think the personal story has to have a truth too. Do you think, Rio? Because you think maybe if it was a personal story, you might find out that the two other stories weren't so true, or that's what makes it so dangerous, man.
I don't know.
It's dangerous, isn't it? I like it.
Well, you can spin the wheel, right? I mean, literally put them in a hat in personal, historic, fable, or whatever, right? That kind of thing. You just draw from the hat. Okay, you got this one. The contestants, right?
There you go. Well, listen, we're going to find truth exactly. But there's no consequences. That's the problem. Well, I guess in a sense there could be consequences if you told a fib in your fish story and you got caught in reverse.
But we'd have to be the only ones that know that we have to tell the truth or make something up, right? That's the thing.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody has
I'd
to
have
know.
to send a message or something, yeah.
Somebody has to know they're the liar.
And we'll have to, you know, we could take an audience vote on it, who they think is the.
Well, yeah, no, that's what we're gonna do, because
You know.
someone has to guess who the liar is to win the wooden toad.
The wooden toad. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got a wooden
The,
toad.
the only problem with personal stories is there's almost no way to prove it. You know what I mean? So you can make something pretty extensive.
Well, you're gonna find
Yeah.
out in reverse speech.
Yeah.
Because if you're lying,
That might work.
If you told a
Depends
fib in your story, man, I mean, that's what they say. He says it's a lie detector. He says you unconsciously tell yourself whether you're telling the truth. If you're not congruent, we'll know if your story is bullshit. Maybe that's how we should tell who's the liar. But that would be the funny part, is if all three of them were liars.
Right?
Just pull up CNN's website. There you go. That's the name of the game show.
He told us. Just the thing is, like, he told the story so many times.
CNN News, right?
You told the story so many times, and then you added little parts to the story here and there, make it more dramatic or something. You know, and then you tell the story reverse, and to you think you're telling the story, but in reverse it comes out, man, you're incongruent. I don't know, Rio. Sounds like cutting edge radio to me.
I think you're onto something.
It's Revolution Radio, Ground Zero Plus.
Well, she was standing by the highway in her boots and silver spurs, gonna hitchhike to the yellow moon when a Cadillac stopped for her. And he said, "Hey, nice to meet you. Are you going my way?" Yeah, that's when it happened. The world caught fire that day, and she went down swinging. Yeah, she went down swinging. Well, she was over 21, in trouble with the law.
I just showed the prize. I'll even paint it gold. I'm gonna paint it gold. Or you can leave it black. I don't know what this is. I think it's black mahogany or something.
Cool.
Some
Yeah,
African.
that's at the end of the season. For that.
All right, well, listen, we only got 7 minutes left. 831-337-8711. Rio Mania. The King
Romanian.
is in the chat.
Well, Hulk Hogan died, right? That's why cause that's relevant, right? We didn't talk about Ozzy or Hulk Hogan, actually. Both died this week.
Well,
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a lot of bad stuff on X Twitter about Ozzy, like, just telling all this horrible stuff about him. I never thought the guy was a bad guy, man. I saw him interviewed numerous times before his reality show.
he
Was
wasn't.
truly saddened by the fact people heard something backwards and said, "I did not mean that," blah blah blah. Back in the '80s, late '80s, before the Satanic Panic started.
He wasn't a bad guy, man. But it's just like
Those guys used to beat him up, man. He was bullied his whole life.
The thing is the difference between that generation of music and the later generation. It was more blatant. In other words, Motley Crue is just marketing that shit. It was just marketing. Back then, it was marketing then too, but it was on a smaller scale. I mean, it was still marketing, but he, as a person, what he does on stage doesn't necessarily translate. In other words, Alice Cooper, he'd be doing his thing on stage and then he'd head off to the golf course.
He's a Christian broadcaster, man.
But here's the thing. I was going to let you guys know, I didn't forget about Ozzy. We could talk more about him tomorrow night, but the last song that he played, and he was
I did not, but I guess it's Mr. Crowley.
No, he was sitting he had to sit because he had Parkinson's. So he sat on a throne when he did his show. And this is the last song he ever played. It's in the microcosm. Ground Zero Plus.
Changed and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same. Mama, I'm coming home. Time's gone by, it seems to be. You could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. You took me in and you drove me out, yeah, you had me hypnotized, yeah. Lost and found and turned around by the fire in your eyes. You made me cry, you told me lies, but I can't stand to say goodbye. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right, I could be wrong. It hurts so bad, it's me.
right, there he goes. But the best part is, you know, you can listen to him anytime you want. You can see him. He's there forever. Pretty soon you'll probably be able to have a little 3D hologram in your hand while you're on the subway. Man, remember when he crashed on the little four-wheeler thing? Landed on top of him. His bodyguard saved his life. Literally. He had to give him mouth to mouth twice. Alright, listen, we gotta go. We'll be back tomorrow night. You guys want to say goodnight?
Night, everybody.
All right. Thank you for having me there, Jimmy. And
Hey, stop by.
rest in peace.
Yeah, stop by tomorrow night, man. Stop by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll check in.
Right on. Sounds good. All right, then. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Pacific.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you then.
I feel unhappy. I feel so sad. I've lost the best friend that I ever had. She was my woman. I loved her so. But it's too late now. I've let her go. I'm going through changes. I'm going
Good night. Take care.